Welcome to Z's Daily Acceptance. I'm Z and I'm a junkie. It's beautiful out here today. I'm filming that up over 10,000 feet up. Temperature is around 60 degrees. Real feels in the 70s. It's awesome. My journey in recovery. This is number 6. Picking up where I left off in number 5, the tenacity and the tolerance of that 6th step. When we have all our defects of character laid out in front of us, we better have some tenacity. Tenacity for what? Once again, tenacity, firm grip. Firm grip on what? Firm grip on the honesty, the acceptance and the surrender of the first step, the open-mindedness, the willingness and hope of the second, the faith, trust, and commitment of the third, the courage of the fourth, the perseverance of the fifth. You see, because when I have all my defects of character, hundreds of them, laid out, and there's more, laid out in front of me, okay, I stopped after a few hundred, okay, I'll get into that in a little bit. I needed some tenacity. I needed a firm grip to be with that, okay, I needed to be with that. I needed to be with that, okay. Tenacity and tolerance is the 6-step principles. What's with the tolerance? Well, I could never experience that tolerance. Looking back, in hindsight, it's always 20/20. The God might understand and let me know, always, when I look back, principled and not in defect. I needed the firm grip, the tenacity on those principles prior so I could sit and I could be with that and gain some tolerance for myself. I wasn't tolerant of anybody, including myself. I had no tolerance. So I started to learn tolerance. And because I learned it with myself, I got to experience that actual application with others. You see, it's not a do-it-yourself program. It's a program of relationships. Profoundly, the one with me and the God of my understanding. Primarily with the one who I'm married to, and then with others. Okay? But if I have no tolerance, because I never had no tolerance, if I don't have tolerance and a firm grip of the principles that lied prior to me when I'm seeing my defects of character in that 6th step, it becomes a do-it-yourself program. And that ends me up in brutal isolation with immense pain, okay, and despair. That goes into more brutal isolation. Yeah, that's what do-it-yourself does, okay. The fellowship and the program, which is the 12 steps, no matter what 12-step fellowship you're in, the program. I don't care if your solution was food, sex, gambling, okay, money, work, drugs, alcohol. Yeah, that's the solution. Don't mistake the addiction for the solution. See, the addiction by way of choice, I make my own or not, wants my life force. It doesn't give a rat's behind about what solution I'm using in order to survive that onslaught. I spoke about this plenty in the prior videos. Okay, it banks the addiction by way of choice, I make my own or not, banks on that confusion. Okay, that was a solution. So when I put down my set, or you put down the food, or you put down the gambling, or you put down the sex, or the codependent relationships, whoa, or the alcohol, or, I'm a junkie. You know what I mean? That's what I do. That was my solution to survive the onslaught of the addiction, when by way of choice I made it my own. Yeah. So I want to clear that up, because the addiction banks on that confusion. And the confusion gives way to fantasy. And the fantasy gives way of a real high price. Real high price for low living. Yeah. I paid such a high price for over half a century for low living, based on the fantasies I kept myself in that were born up out of the confusion that I was stuck like Chuck in. All by way of choice. Perseverance of the 5th, the courage of the 4th, faith, trust, and commitment of the 3rd, the open-mindedness, willingness, and hope of the 2nd, and the honesty, the acceptance, and the surrender of the 1st. The tenacity of the 6th means I better have a firm grip on them when my defects of character are laid out in front of me. So, hundreds I wrote, and I stopped. And I just said, I'll just have the God of my understanding just uproot the addiction up out of me, and that'll be it. So anyways, I'll tell you how that went when I move on to the 7th step, which I'm going to do right now. So that's the 6th step. 6th step principles: tenacity and tolerance. 7th step principles. Strike that. 7th step principle: humility. So what's humility? Humility, how I learned humility was this. The God of my understanding let me in on that I could never see things for the way they were. I could never just see things as they are. Okay, because my ego ran so mad that I either ran superior, like I knew everything. I ain't gonna listen to this, listen to that. I ain't listen to nothing. I couldn't listen, period. All right. So I didn't listen to nothing because I know, man. You see, the only reason why I can know anything at all these days is because I know that I don't know. But my active use, my famous saying was, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. So humility, getting back to the ego. Either I ran superior in what I just was talking about. Okay, I was too great to listen to anything, or I ran inferior. Okay, I would sit outside of a 7-Eleven for 2 hours because I couldn't get up enough courage to go in when I was smoking back then to get a pack of cigarettes because I didn't know what people were going to think about me. Yeah, too great that I can't listen to you because I know it all. I couldn't make it into a 7-Eleven to buy a pack of cigarettes because of the inferiority that I was in. See, I could only see and experience humility through my spirit. Well, I said to the God of my understanding, 7th step now we're in, humility's principle. I said to the God of my understanding, what about the ego? What about the ego? State universities was my scene back in my 40s with an 8th grade education. I went back, okay, because I wanted a prescription pad. Okay, yeah, let's just cut all the crap. I wanted a prescription pad, and I got into pre-med and psych. Okay, what about the ego? All the stuff that's written. I mean, the God of my understanding. What about that? See, I love the God of my understanding. It's called Bike and Tree with me. It's very quick. When I'm with the God of my understanding, it's fast. This is what the God of my understanding says to me. This is what you need to know about the ego, Z. This is it. Don't worry about what's been written on it and because you could argue that till the cows come home. The ego has about as much to do with your spirit as the addiction did. Nothing. Everything, though, in killing it. Oh, yeah. No confusion with the God of my understanding. See, I get into a debate about ego of man. I might as well break camp, man. I could go on forever. God of my understanding, just know this thing about ego, Z. It has about as much to do with your spirit as the addiction did. Nothing but everything in killing it. Okay, see, because I can only see humility through the eyes of my spirit. Ego will not allow me to see that. See, ego is either running superior or inferior to everything I do. Ego is either adding or taking away from everything I do. Ego is either going either minimizes or gets into grandiosity. Yeah, I don't know how it is with the civilian world. I know how it is with us addicts, and I'm a junkie. Okay, I can only see. So what does that mean? I can only see. Because now I can see things for the way they are. For the way they are. That's beautiful. You see, in the 7th step, remember I was saying that I'm just going to have the whole addiction after hundreds of character defects. And even if I wrote thousands, the next couple of days there'd be more popping up. So anyways, after a few hundred, man, I'm just going to ask the God of my understanding to just rip up the whole addiction up out of me. So in my 7th step, that's what I did. God of my understanding said to me, not only did he not rip the whole addiction up out of me, okay? Not only did he do that, not do that, he told me my defects of character we're going nowhere. Okay? My defects of character, we're going nowhere. Okay? They're going nowhere. He said, though, if you get back to the first step, see? Okay? If you get back to the first step, and you honestly accept the defect that you're in and all the thinking and the feeling, the behavior that's surrounding that, and you surrender that to me, praying only for my forgiveness and only for the knowledge of my will and my power to be carried out in you, He'll remove it. And the obsession that's ready to be born up out of that. Because that's how I see the addiction coming at me by way of defect. When I'm in defect, watch out. Because I know the addiction, I'm already doing the will of the addiction by way of choice I just made my own. So I see the addiction coming at me by way of defect. See, now if I don't get into honest acceptance and surrender to the God of my understanding of that defect, an obsession's coming soon. Okay? When an obsession comes with this junkie, I can't think, I can't see, I can't smell, I can't taste, I can't touch, and I sure as heck can't listen. Oh no, I can't listen to nobody. I got marching orders. You know, and that always ends me up in jails, institutions, or death. Literally. If I could just get back to that first step and honestly accept all the thinking, feeling, behavior that's surrounding that defect that I'm in, and surrender that to Him, praying only for His forgiveness, His knowledge, for His will, His power to be carried out in me, never once has He failed to remove the defect I was in for that moment, so I could recommit back to my program. You see, living this program is my ability to recommit back to it. Living this program is my ability to recommit back to it. The program's 12 steps. I don't care what fellowship you're in. I don't care what 12-step fellowship. I don't care what A you're in. The program's 12 steps. My ability to live this program and experience it is my ability to recommit back to it. Okay? So, the 7th step made clear to me that Z, your defects are going nowhere. However, if you get back into that first step and honestly accept and surrender them to me, praying only for my forgiveness and only for the knowledge of my will, my power to be carried out in you, He'll remove it. For that moment. Well, why wasn't it ripped up out of me? Because the God of my understanding said, Z, look, if I wanted robots, I would have created them. Okay? There's a relationship here. Okay? There's a relationship. You know? If I just removed everything from you, there'd be no need for a relationship. There's a relationship here. And as you go on in recovery, the defects, there's at a boot camp of surrendering defects. They're less frequent these days, but like I said, 1 to infinite times a day, I got to get into surrendering the defect I'm in order to get recommitted back to my program and live this bad boy. Okay? Further on in recovery, let me get back to that. Honestly accepting the principle and the freedom, okay? Honestly accepting, surrendering, first step principles, the freedom of the principle and what's trying to offer me, okay? And staying in that, okay? And honestly accepting the freedom that the principle's trying to offer me. All the thinking, feeling, behavior, that beauty, that beautifulness that is offered me. And then surrendering that, completely defeated to the God of my understanding, praying only for His forgiveness, only for the knowledge of His will and His power to be carried out in me, is the only reason I have the ability to stay in beautiful things these days. Because the defect was way easier surrendering than to the freedom, the defect I was familiar with. The freedom and all that beauty that comes from the principles and in life, I'd get my toes wet and jump right out of it. No, I need to honestly accept and surrender. Then I need to get in the second step and remain open-minded and willing to stay there for a moment. The God of my understanding said, Z, you know, you came in through the doors, of course. You know, I wanted everything yesterday. I wanted freedom like this, man. You know, He goes, I give you freedom like that and you're ready to run. You need to honestly get into acceptance and surrender to that freedom to me and remain open-minded and willing And that'll give you some hope that you'll stay in it a little longer next time. Those are the second step principles. Because your faith, trust, and commitment in me. Okay? That I showed you, now that I've shown him. And my courage gets stronger. Fourth step principle. You know what I mean? Because the courage is equal to my faith. And my faith and my courage gets that more, that I'll enjoy some freedom in life. And some beautiful things in life. Not just taste it for a second and run away. I want to taste freedom for a second. I want to run right back to defect. Because the unfamiliarity of the freedom and the familiarity, okay, of the defect is the only reason why that happens. That's also a beautiful awareness. The awareness is the 11th step principle. Beautiful awareness there. Because if it's only unfamiliarity, I got a real good chance of staying in that freedom a little longer next time. Okay, and I need to keep persevering of the fifth. Okay? Oh, there's some real actual application of these principles, man. And so, mad beautiful, crazy beautiful, unimaginable, indescribable lifestyle that comes up out of them. You know? So there's a relationship. That's what I learned in the seventh step. My defects of character go nowhere. The God of my understanding. Shoot, I thought he had them ripped out. I thought I'd be done. Yeah. If he wanted robots, he would have created them. Although he said that my defects are going nowhere, never once, when I went back to the first step and honestly accepted the thinking, feeling, behavior that surrounded the defect, and then surrendered that to him, praying only for his forgiveness, and surrendering that completely defeated, praying only for his forgiveness, only for the knowledge as well as power to be carried out in me, never once has he ever failed to remove one. Same thing with the principle and the freedom that's trying to offer me. Relationship. This is a program of relationships. Something us addicts never had. Okay? Our relationship was the bottle we were drinking, the food we were eating, the gambling we were doing, the stuff we were shooting, the codependent relationships that we're in. You know, because there's no relationship in a codependent relationship. There's a giver and a taker. Both are equally as sick as the other. Okay? Goes on and on and on. Work, you know, that could happen too easily. Goes on and on and on and on. That was our relationships with objects. It wasn't breathing. There was nothing breathing about any of those things that I talked about. So yeah, it's relationships. The greatest one, how can I have a relationship with anybody when I never had one with myself? How can anybody ever know me when I never knew myself? I reinvented myself on a daily basis because I had marching orders. I was owned by the addiction. Recovery is being returned to your rightful owner. The God of my understanding was my rightful owner. Okay, you know, I had some sponsors. Man, nobody owns me. No, that's funny because the addiction owned the addiction owned me. Okay. For 50 years, I marched on ways and means of getting and doing more. Period. That superseded everything. Okay. My rightful owner was the God of my understanding. Because only he, okay, can bring me to where my heart truly desires to be. You see, I can't repurpose. The fellowship is not going to bring me to where my heart truly desires to be. The one who I'm married to, she's not going to bring me to where my heart truly desires to be. Okay? Sue, can you tell me where my heart truly desires to be today? Or the fellowship, you go, oh, can you guys tell me where my heart truly desires to be today? What? I'm repurposing them. That was never their purpose. It was never anybody's purpose. Any person, place, or thing's purpose to show me where my heart's desire truly wants to be, other than the God of my understanding. The God of my understanding lets me know where my heart truly desires to be. And only he can do that. Okay. My journey in recovery, number 7, I'm going to wrap this up. Would be my next one. I'll get into the seventh a little bit and get into that eighth step. So the principles: honesty, acceptance, and surrender of the first. Open-mindedness, willingness, and hope of the second. Faith, trust, and commitment of the third. Courage of the fourth. Perseverance of the fifth. Tenacity, tolerance of the sixth. And humility. Humility of the seventh. Hey, have a great day. I'll catch up with you next time. God bless.